Let's start with Eddie, who began the hour by confessing his life's mess in a classic Catholic fashion. He was unhappy when he left church because his first encounter with a, quite flirtatious, priest did not provide him with the necessary absolution. Later, the priest ran into Eddie at the gym, and like some kind of angelic stalker, he broke what we presume to be every rule in the priest's handbook by saying, "Hey, I recognize you from confession. Is it okay if I sit down?" "I'm straight," Eddie told the man gently, sensing the forceful flirtation in the air. The chat that impeccably gay-coded, with Eddie acknowledging that his handsome new mustache is a form of disguise and that he does not consider himself deserving of forgiveness or joy. In fact, Eddie would have gone full mountain man if the LAFD hadn't prohibited big beards because they were too flammable. Speaking of having too much, let's move on to the revelation that, before to their relationship in Season 1, Tommy, Buck's boyfriend, was engaged to Abby, also known as Buck's ex-girlfriend, played by Connie Britton. Abby's fiancé had caused her a great deal of pain, and Buck was shocked that Tommy could be so nasty. The much too muchery went on when Josh told Buck that he should be lenient with Tommy because, wait for it, Tommy was raised in a time before Glee, when expressing one's sexuality wasn't nearly as common or celebrated as it is now. In fact, this made Buck appreciate Tommy even more. He recognized that he could only be himself because he could follow Tommy's self-assured example. In response to Buck's request for Tommy to move in with him, Tommy answered, "Drum roll, please." True enough, he declined. To make matters worse, he broke up with them so Buck could be free to explore his desires and play the field. Although Tommy has relished being Buck's first boyfriend, he does not envision himself being Buck's final partner. This leads us to the amazing conclusion of the program. After being told to do something that makes him happy, Eddie shaved his beard and went all risky business in his living room, with the old-time rock and roll, the popped collar, and the undies. That would have been sufficient for us, but you can only imagine how happy we were when Eddie's me party unexpectedly welcomed Buck, who brought beer. Entering Eddie's home for a night of talking, Buck and Eddie just shared beverages and no words. "We apologize," the quote marks were not intended. In reality, they are merely talking. Why does that keep occurring, damn it? So, before I wrote the episode, gave me a call. He essentially clarified that Abby had mentioned a fiancé named Tommy in the first season, which is why we had this fantastic opportunity. I thought that was brilliant, and he thought it would be foolish not to use it. Above all, it was a fortunate coincidence that provided us with a fantastic opportunity to disrupt Buck and Tommy's universe. I make an effort to view things objectively. Tommy is attempting self-defense. He says this because he doesn't want to be harmed. The tone of the chat makes me think that perhaps he has already been through this and doesn't want to go through it again. Therefore, I'm not criticizing Tommy for his choice. I obviously feel sorry for Buck, but everyone is merely attempting to navigate life as it comes. Yes, it was something I wanted to happen. I still desire it. I've simply come to terms with the possibility that it's not their route. I dubbed Eddie a good ally when I wrote about Buck coming out to Eddie, and I received a lot of backlash in the comments area. I'm straight, Eddie states bluntly in this episode when he believes the flirtatious priest is making advances on him. Do we believe what he says? Should we accept Eddie's sexual orientation?